So they took me upstairs in the boarding house in which I lived to the highest study that they had and put a broom handle into me. And then stopped and sent me to clean myself up. And my life changed after that. So I was abused at boarding school. Some boys that were a year older than me decided that I'd been disrespectful to one of them, bumping into him on the way into lunch. So they said, we're going to haul you, which is what the school called this sort of thing. So they took me upstairs in the boarding house in which I lived to the highest study that they had. And they did things to me. Made me drink salty water, gallons of the damn stuff. I was so sick. Made me simulate sex with the rubbish tin in which I'd been vomiting and put a broom handle into me. One of the other boys saw the mess I was in and went and told the staff, and I was terrified that they would kill me. I thought they would kill me. So I wouldn't talk to the teacher. And so, yeah. And my life changed after that. Yeah. So 2 of us from my year had to go and sleep with us in the same dormitory as the senior boys, so 2 of us were put there. And they had been told that if they touched me, they would be thrown out of the school. So they let me know that that was the only reason they weren't going to touch me. I did think, if I fall asleep, they might do something to me and I won't be able to say who it was, because there was be a dozen or so of them there. And then someone worked out that, oops, we've put him in with them, so we'll move him next term. So I had stuff for a long time about going to sleep and being safe, and yeah, and I'm a bit hypervigilant at night to this day. Yeah, I have nightmares about being stuck at the school, not being able to get out. So I relived the abuse. I was having flashbacks and I didn't know what they were. You know, curled up, crying, really distressed. It's a body memory of what was done to me with that broom handle. I am fearful of some things, like I don't like rock concerts, or if I go to the pub with a mate and it's busy and noisy and hot, I'm thinking, oh, you've got to be careful here, Jim. You know, if I go to the bar to get a drink or drinks, I'm pretty aware of who's behind me at the bar. I'm always aware of where people are in the room. Like I know where everyone is in the room right now. And as they move, I know that. I had a flashback in front of a psychodrama group, so they said, come on. And I had it right there in front of an audience with a director and a trainer. Well, I was a pretty messed up man, sort of dragging myself around the action space in front of them, crying and pulling myself away and trying to keep myself safe. And yeah, it was really distressing for them to watch. And they were just absolutely beautiful. It was one of the best things I've done. They were just so wonderful. I can't, really thank them for that. I've had the, oh, you're not the only person who's been abused. Why are you making all the fuss about it, Pull your head in and shut up and get on with it. And it's, toughen up, what are you making all the fuss about? I've also had the, you don't care about women thing. You're telling your story. Well, what about women, Yeah, well, women are people too. Bad things happen to women, bad things happen to men. Men do bad things, women do bad things. What's the difference? Yeah, I think that's the biggest obstacle we face. We guys, man up. Man up, you're a minority. The real work's to be done fighting the patriarchy. I'm not saying there isn't a patriarchy, but we're people too. We also come up against the vampire myth, particularly for men. So the vampire myth is, if you're bitten by a vampire, you become a vampire. So the vampire myth says that if you've been sexually abused, you're going to be sexually abusive, and it particularly is used against men. And that's just not true at all. It's probably the converse. I spent years and years trying to work out, why did they do it to me? Why me? Why did they pick on me? And I was a bit odd and unusual, like I'm a bigger person, but I'm not into sport. I like reading books. And so I was a wee bit different in a boys' boarding school. I wasn't in the first 15 or anything. So I was sufficiently different that they could isolate me and do it. There's not enough adult supervision. Yeah. I've been recovering. I spent my lifetime becoming a better person. I wonder what's happened to them. I wonder how they feel. I mean, none of them has made an attempt to contact me and say, sorry. How can we make it right for you? Yeah. In a funny way, being abused empowers people. I say that to guys in the group. You're actually empowered because you can tell who you want. You can name names. And your abuser's not going to know. They will never know who I've told. I don't see myself as a never-ending trauma victim. There's a whole lot to my life. And my trauma is just part of it. It doesn't define me. I've got lots of good people in my life who I share love with, and I've got a good life, got a really good life, and I've got nothing to reproach myself about.